Greetings from all of us here at Grace Evangelistic Ministries. We want to bring you a word of encouragement in a time such as this. You remember last word of encouragement, I told us that we will be doing an application of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 8, where it says that none of the rulers of this age understood it. For if they had understood it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. In other words, if Satan had known that Jesus' crucifixion will result in our salvation, he would not have signed on that crucifixion. In fact, he would do the opposite. He would do everything to stop Christ from going to the cross. Had he known the outcome. But God knew and celebrated in eternity past. And that's why Satan is not only a fool, a blind, doesn't know anything. He only sees the outcome as you yourself see it. Could you imagine the frustration that Satan goes each time he sees the outcome of what God is doing? He's always walking in darkness. What do you think? Satan is always in darkness. So I'm going to give you at least one or two applications so that you can see this so clearly. And one of the applications was Joseph God gave Joseph a dream that he would be promoted. Guess who was behind the stoppage of that promise? Satan. Satan used Joseph's brothers to try to stop that from happening. And they did everything. You know the story, I don't have to repeat it. And finally, Joseph was sold to Egypt. Do you know the meaning, the purpose of selling Joseph to Egypt? To stop it and make God a liar. What was the outcome? Prime Minister. Had they known, that is Satan and his servants, that's Joseph's brothers, had they known that selling Joseph to Egypt will result in Joseph being a prime minister, do you think they would have sold him to Egypt? No. They will block everything that will keep Joseph from going to Egypt. Had they know. You see, that's God. And let me give you another example. Those people who conspired to put Daniel in the lion's den and have him eaten up, so that Daniel's progress and promotion, all the things that Daniel was enjoying will end. And you know how they conspired to put Daniel in the lion's den. They did all kinds of cunning things. And finally, that didn't deter Daniel. Daniel knew his God. In fact, in Daniel 11:32, he said that those who know their God will wax strong and do great exploits. And the question is, do you know your God? Do you? If you know your God, you should be strong as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. You should not be afraid of what is happening in your life, knowing that God has a handle in what you are going through as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. God cannot be undercut by anyone, by the evil one. And you know the outcome. They threw Daniel in the lion's den. And Daniel came out unheard of from the lions, hungry lions, who ate all those conspirators. The lions tore them bone to bone, but didn't touch Daniel. Had they known that experience that Daniel had will result in enormous blessing and promotions for Daniel, they would not have conspired. You see? That's why Satan is who he is, a fool. And that's why God is who he is, the omniscient one. And now you can see clearly, I want you to put at least these two passages, from Joseph in Genesis and Daniel. Just put these examples and infuse them in Romans 8:28. For God, we know. And that's how Paul begins. We know. The question is, do you know? Do you know? We know that God causes all things to work together for good to them that love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. God is in charge. He is the one who, when the enemy plans to undercut you, God is there. Remember that. He knows how to use that particular situation and bring out sensational results that will glorify him. We cannot lose. No way. As God's children, he got us covered on both ends and even in between. God will bring about the plan that he has for you. And so keep pressing on. Keep studying his word. Keep praying and standing firm. Until next time, may God richly bless you, my beloved.